Now look, we're not professionals. Welcome back to Without Shortcuts. Today we're getting as basic as you can possibly get. We're just making a loaf of white bread, and this one's only got 5 ingredients to it.
We're going to start this off nice and simple. We're just going to take some water. This is warmed up, no warmer than 120 degrees. If it's warmer than that, you'll kill all your yeast off and you'll just be kind of wasting a step and wasting your ingredients. To that warm water, we are going to add our yeast, just 1 packet of active yeast. And then we're going to also add our sugar to this. Adding the sugar to the nice warm water and the yeast just gives the yeast something to feed off of. It gets them active, it makes everything go quickly, and gives your bread that nice texture and lift that you're looking for. So we're going to mix those together. We're going to quickly just kind of stir them up a little bit, make sure everything's in there, and let those go until they're nice and bubbly and they smell like a delicious loaf of bread rising in your oven.
Alright, so for our dry ingredients, we're just going to sift some flour into a bowl real quick here. Alright, and we're going to throw that right here into our mixing bowl. And then the only other ingredient we're adding in there is just a little bit of kosher salt. So we'll mix those up real quick. There we go.
Now we just have to wait for our yeast to be ready, and then we'll combine the two and do a little mixing. Our yeast is ready to go. It's nice and bubbly and happy and excited. So we're just going to pour that into our dry ingredients and get things moving here. Just going to use my little spatula to make sure I get everything out of there. Okay, there we go.
Alright, so we're going to put this onto the stand mixer. We're going to start with the paddle and mix that up until everything is incorporated, and then we'll switch over to the dough hook to start kneading it. Alright, so our dough is about ready here. We'll pass that over to Doug. He's going to turn that out onto a floured surface. While he's doing that, I'm going to get a pan ready.
Alright, so I've just got my handy dandy sifter jar here. I'm going to get some flour on my counter. Pull this out. Now this dough, we do want it to be nice and light and airy. So it is a little sticky. We didn't add as much flour. That would be called a higher hydration dough, because there's more water than flour, or a higher percentage of water. But we're going to turn that out, just kind of get a little flour on it, knead it a few times. I'm going to flatten this out just a bit. Get it kind of into a rectangle, fairly evenly, even thickness across it. And then I'm just going to kind of roll it over on itself into a nice loaf shape. Make sure I pinch that seam on the bottom of it, and then I'm just going to gently set it into that nicely prepared pan that Brian's got for me. Then we're going to cover this, and just like we always do, we're going to let it sit and rise for about an hour or until roughly doubled in size.
Our bread is about midway through the proofing process, so now's the time we're going to go ahead and get our oven preheated so that the oven's ready to go when the bread's ready to go. So for this recipe, we're going to preheat to 400 degrees. Alright, our oven is up to temperature, bread is proofed and ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick this in the oven. That's going to go in for about 30 minutes. You want to cook it up to a temperature of about 200 to 210 degrees. So keep an eye on it. If it starts getting a little too brown, you can always tent it with some foil to finish cooking it. So our bread is out. We've let it cool for about an hour. Let's go ahead and cut into this thing and see what we came up with.
So our bread's out. It looks great. We've got a nice smooth texture on the inside. It's not too crumbly. Everything's staying together. We're going to go ahead and butter this up because unlike some of our other recipes, we feel like this one just needs to be nice and simple, and a little bit of butter will do it justice. So we're going to see exactly what we came up with here. Thank you, sir. Here, here.
That is,
Please go ahead.
yeah, no, that is nice and light, fluffy.
It's got that really nice chew to it. Where using this for like a sandwich would just give you that nice texture. It would hold everything together. It wouldn't overpower anything that you put on the sandwich, but it would certainly help bring everything in. Be really good with just a little bit of jelly on it.
Oh, absolutely.
You could use this in just about any situation. Certainly anything you could use a store-bought loaf for, this would make a more than adequate substitution. So,
Absolutely. PB&J's all day.
oh man, couldn't go wrong.
All right, so give this a try. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment down below. Tag us on Instagram. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.